Happy Tuesday. We are in James chapter 1, verse 5 and following. If any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. But when he asks, he must believe and not doubt, because he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That man should not think he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all he does. So last week I mentioned there were two key words here early on. I guess three concepts if we think about trials, but the two key words were wisdom and faith, and then we sort of explored wisdom. Our passage today starts to move us into the realm of faith. It doesn't mention it, but as I said, it hints at it. We're going to see it coming up later on. And we're going to see just how important faith is, just how wonderful faith can be. How rewarding our faith in God's faithfulness can be, and how strong, not fragile, but how strong the faith that we are called to is. So this is not a simple head nod towards God, and I think perhaps to understand that, it's helpful to know a little bit more about James. So I've shared some already. He's the half-brother of Jesus. He's martyred in 62. He's the bishop of the church in Jerusalem. But among the things that we know about James that I have not shared is that he does not believe in Jesus until shortly before his crucifixion and resurrection. In John 7, 5, so 7 months about before the crucifixion of Jesus, it's pretty clear that James does not believe that Jesus is God. But at some point, he becomes persuaded. And here's my point. Once he is persuaded, he is all in. And he doesn't have much time for those who don't go all in. So that is what is sort of behind his comments here about doubt. 6 reads, when he asks, so don't ask for wisdom, but when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed about by the wind, double-minded and unstable. So double-minded, the Greek word diakrino, dia means through, and it sort of implies somebody who is being battered about. Somebody who endlessly is dividing, going through the middle and dividing things up. And James is warning against those people who will not decide. I hinted at this a little bit yesterday, right? That some point you got to put your weight down. Some of you are playing this game. Some of you are not putting your weight down. Some of you are sort of trying to live a life of faith without much faith at all. James doesn't have any patience for people in that position. So, look, I don't know if this is true about you or not. I don't know if you're playing games or not, but perhaps it's time for you to run some risks and to take some chances and to live a little bit more engaged, a little bit more dangerously for the kingdom of God. We don't bring a lot to our relationship with God, right? Jesus does everything that needs to be done. God gives us everything that we have. But one of the things that we are expected to exercise, one of the things that we are expected to do is to put our weight down in Jesus. So what would that look like for you today? See you tomorrow.